Hi there. My name is Rajiv Chopra, and I'd like to take a moment or a few moments actually, to introduce you to Topaz Denoise AI version 3.2.2. This is the latest update from Topaz Labs. These people at the Topaz Labs have been designing photo processing software for many years now. They have some absolutely fantastic software for editing your photographs. The ones I like in particular are the image quality products, which include Topaz Denoise AI, Topaz Sharpen AI, and Topaz Gigapixel AI. AI, of course, stands for artificial intelligence. Gigapixel is probably the best software out there in the market for enlarging your images, but I will do a video on that another day. Let's talk about the denoising process. Now, when you shoot an image late at night, you have to raise the ISO level, and depending on how good or how old your camera is, your camera will handle low light situations well, or maybe not. Now, this image, I shot this image several years ago in a town called Meerut, which is just east of Delhi. And I shot this late in the evening. Every year around March, they have an annual fair which they call the Nauchandi Mela. The Indian word Mela does mean fair. This is an old fair which actually has been around for roughly 200 years. It was a cattle fair initially, and from there it has morphed into its more commercial avatar that you see now. I shot this using my Nikon D200. I've had that camera for many years. I still use it for a bit of street photography. I don't use it in the evening because the technology is old now and it doesn't handle low light situations very well. It does not handle high ISO photography very well. Now, when you open up the image in denoise, the first thing that you see is that you see this particular image which has been processed. Moving into this section, you'll see that it has suggested the raw processor or the raw model, and you will see that suggestion highlighted by this little light bulb. You can change it. If I press here, you get options: standard, clear, low light, severe noise, and raw. Now I was shooting raw, and this is a raw file which is a .nef file. It's the native Nikon file. So I'm going to stay with the raw file, the raw processing as suggested by Topaz. Now I can, of course, move this slider to remove more noise, but I don't think that I need to do that. I'll keep it at the suggested level. I can enhance the sharpness, and I can move this slider to recover detail and this slider to remove the noise reduction. But as you can see down here, as I have moved this slider, this little button which was earlier showing auto is now showing raw manual. I don't have to keep it, but I have moved it, so I have not used the auto suggestion which they have or the auto setting which Topaz had originally suggested for us. Now I'm going to move to a split or a side-by-side view, and I'm going to zoom into 400%. As I move the image around, I'd like you to have a look very closely. The image on the left is noisy, and if you look carefully, you're going to see all these little splotches all over the place, and this doesn't look good at all. Now have a look at the image on the right. This image on the right, as you can see, has absolutely no noise, and that's fantastic. When you look carefully at the brushes, you will see that the amount of detail that the brushes retain is also very high. And I want you to keep in mind that this is a 400% magnification. If now I move it back to 100%, have a look. Fantastic detail. And this you can actually move into Lightroom or Photoshop, or you can output it to a final image. Now I now need to move to this button, save the image, and there it goes. Now if this is all that you want to do with the image, you can choose the output image format, and you can output it to a JPEG or a JPEG or JPEG. But I suggest that you choose this option only if you want to use this as the final image. If you want to process the image further, my suggestion would be to use a TIFF file or a DNG file. If you're going to put this into a PowerPoint presentation or into a web page, then the PNG works very well as well. I'm going to use a DNG file. This is a native Photoshop extension which has all the raw data. The TIFF file also has all the raw data as well. And this is where it'll be output. I can change it, but I will not change it at all. So I'm going to cancel out there, and all I need to do now is to save it. And now we're going to wait for Topaz to process the image and spit it out, as it were. Now just remember, you can buy Topaz Denoise AI 3.2.2, and if you use my code Rajiv Enhance, you will get an additional 15% off. My name is spelled R-A-J-I-V, so that's R-A-J-I-V ENHANCE, one word. If you buy the entire image quality bundle, which includes Denoise, Sharpen and Gigapixel, you will get a fantastic bundle price, which is almost about $80 or $90 off the combined prices if you buy them individually. And again, if you use my code Rajiv Enhance, you will get an additional 15% off. So that's it for Topaz Denoise AI version 3.2.2, which I believe is an outstanding update from Topaz Labs. Thanks very much, and I will see you next time.